Good day, Mike Haas along with Deuce McAllister as the Saints wrap up practice one here in Costa Mesa. And I don't know what perfect is, but this is pretty close to it. 60s in the morning, 70s in the afternoon. Cam talked about it. Dennis Allen talked about it. I mean, this was a good day to have a good practice.
Mike, you know what perfect is? Us taking our shoes off, taking our shirt off. We're walking on the beach, and this is probably, son, we had to get up early in the morning to do that because this is a little warm to be walking on the beach, and, it's just – we're living the old dad life. That's perfect.
For me to have my shirt off, that ain't no perfect.
I mean, that's perfect.
My wife would say that ain't perfect.
I mean, hey, we're gonna get ridiculed, but we'll get ridiculed. I mean, we're not worried about that. We're living the dad life. We're on the beach. We're strolling. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk football, right? I thought today was a pretty good practice for him, and obviously the weather was not an issue. And I had a chance to kind of split the fields, and you try to catch one offense, our offense, and then you try to look on the other side and see what our defense is doing. Makes it a little tough. You miss a lot just because it's so fast. It's so fast. And one of the things here's something unique. One of the things that from being in the Sean offense, and we actually talked about it on the air, was the tempo. The tempo offensively for us is really, really fast. Even when they're going, they start at the same time. Saints offensively probably had run 3 plays before the Chargers had even one run play. Their offense had not even run 1 play. Saints offensively, they run 3. And so their tempo is so fast, and that stresses a defense. Now, you still got to execute. I mean, because if you don't execute, now it's 3 and out and you're punting. But, I thought they had good tempo out there. I thought, offensively, there was some throws that you made. When you look at it from false start, there was a couple false start issues. Offensive line probably had a little bit of pressure. But here's the thing also, and Derek kind of alluded to it, there was no film that you watched to see. You just came and practiced. They had a practice yesterday in New Orleans, and then they come out here. They hadn't studied or did anything against the Chargers. So you just go and play. And so I think that's where playing a good team like a Bosa and, you talk about Mack and some of the stars that they have on that defense will get you. I mean, particularly if you're not sound. But, I mean, overall, I thought it was a pretty good day for them.
I spent all of my time on the defensive side, mostly kind of watching to see who might be that other linebacker. Nephi Sewell spent a lot of time with the ones with Warner, but then so did Jalen Smith kind of work his way in. And you talked about focusing on the defensive front. I mean, Malcolm Roach, time and time again, and they asked Cam Jordan. He seems to be really kind of standing up, and that's an accurate description because he stood up a lot of running backs.
Yeah, I think one of the things for him right now, it's been a rotation as far as starters, but Malcolm has pretty much run with the 2s. I think he's pushing to say, no, I want to go with the 1s because you'll play all of those guys as far as defensive tackles, but he has really had a really good camp, and to see it carry over for him and have I call them backfield plays where he's just in the backfield and he's causing havoc. He definitely did that today. And then Nephi Sewell he caused a fumble on a run play for it was Austin Eckler where he was able to punch it out, and Lattimore picked it up and he would have been a scoop and score. So Nephi Sewell made himself known a couple of times. I thought that the Chargers offensively worked underneath a lot for Keenan Allen where he had really good catches and made some plays. But I mean, he's going to make those plays. If you're not going to travel your corner with him and you're not going to, hey, look, I don't want to make sure. I think he had one catch where Pete Warner was covering him, but the Saints were blitzing, and it's questionable whether or not they had got there. That's not a matchup that you want. I don't want Pete Warner running with their top receiver across the middle. So, I mean, little things like that, yes, you'll make adjustments, but when you're just lining up and you're playing, you deal with it.
Alontae Taylor had another one of those days where he wasn't necessarily in position, wasn't turned, but if the receiver caught it, he knocked it out. Whatever he could do, he must have had probably 5 PBUs today.
Yeah, and I thought he had a pretty good camp, but he had a pretty good day as well. And they'll go back and look at it. They had a lot of one-on-ones when they were in one-on-one sessions, a lot of breakups, and just there were some big plays as well. And what was interesting was the officials were out here, and so you would always see when there would be a breakup, the first thing they would look around to see if there was a flag on the play. And so little things like that will help these guys as they prepare, not only for this next preseason game, but for the regular season as well.
Another one tomorrow morning here in Costa Mesa. Then, of course, the game on Sunday from SoFi up in Los Angeles, which is probably a light year away from where we are. Not far as the crow flies, but we'll have, of course, a complete recap on Sports Talk today, 4 to 8 Central, 2 to 6 our time here in California. For Deuce McAllister, I'm Mike Hoss. Hope to join you on the show this afternoon.
Catch us at the beach. We're going to the beach, man.
Shirts ain't off. Shirts ain't off.